Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Quam and Sammy. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. We are not AI generated, by the way. We are our actual selves.
Real, actual humans. I am
Speak
not
for
a
yourself,
cat.
Quan.
I am not a cat. I am a real human. That's a reference to that meme.
I know the meme, David.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone for watching today. Hopefully you're watching us across Xfinity platforms, which is great. Maybe you're watching us on the 24/7 What to Watch channel on Xumo Play. We have a great show for you, so let's get things started. On today's show, Sammy will tell us about the ways you can celebrate Pride Month with Xfinity. Quam will explore the TV shows and movies you can enjoy for free in honor of Black Music Month. We'll be joined by our very special guest, 9-time Grammy Award-winning music icon Mary J. Blige, and we'll reveal the 6 TV shows, movies, or specials we are most excited about this week. So, without further ado, let's get things started by raising that rainbow flag in the latest edition of What to Watch this week. June is Pride Month, which honors the 1969 Stonewall riots in New York City and both celebrates and advocates for the rights of the LGBTQ+ community. Xfinity has everything you need to celebrate the best in LGBTQ+ stories, thanks to our fellow editor and former What to Watch Live colleague, Scott, who compiled an incredible collection of TV shows, movies, and a bunch of surprises for Pride. And Sammy is going to tell us more about it. Take it away, Sammy.
Thank you, David. As mentioned, I'm here representing our editor, former What to Watch Live editor, Scott, who year after year puts together just the most incredible collection, absolutely best in class as far as entertainment, TV, movies, edutainment, documentaries, movies, music, podcasts, everything under the sun as it relates to the LGBTQIA+ community. I'll be spending this month catching up on some much needed seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, which I would almost dub community required, honestly. I'm pretty embarrassed to say that my knowledge of RuPaul as a member of the community is very, very limited. But thankfully, I can rely on the RuPaul's Drag Race Workroom collection that Scott also puts together. That's basically the ultimate fan guide and watcher guide to the series. You can celebrate Pride all month long and all year long just by saying Pride into your Xfinity voice remote and catching up on all these amazing shows, movies, and spend the month educating yourself and also listening to some great tunes that Quan puts together.
Hey.
Thanks for the plug, Sammy.
Of course.
I always find myself behind on the most recent season of RuPaul's Drag Race and have to go to the workroom that it lives on Xfinity platforms. I'm not very good at snapping. Workroom.
You got it.
I feel like I look really stupid snapping. I don't know. And catching up on all the queens of the latest season. Right now it's All Stars, and I've already missed the first episodes, so I have to go catch up because once I get invited to Scott's Drag Race finale party, I won't be the only one there who hasn't seen a season or an episode, which has happened many times. That's the end of my story.
Yeah, it's like I said, really embarrassing that it's not something that I have a deep knowledge of, especially because I feel like it spans all ranges. Like David watches Drag Race, community watches Drag Race. I don't know what I'm doing.
My mom watches Drag Race. A lot of people. And also, I've discovered so much music that I like watching Drag Race. I discovered Kim Petras watching a Lip Sync for Your Life on a Drag Race season, and now both of you know that I just love Kim Petras. Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover model Kim Petras. What? We knew her when. All right.
This is
Right
becoming
there
a
next to-
Kim Petras segment.
I'm all for it. I am all for it. As Sammy said, you can celebrate Pride Month, not just this month, but all year long, simply by saying Pride into your Xfinity voice remote. Next up, we're also celebrating Black Music Month in the latest edition of Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program continues with free previews of Lifetime Movie Club, Revolt, and Quest TV in honor of Black Music Month. And here to tell us more about the shows, movies, and specials you can enjoy for free June 12th through the 18th is our very own Quam. Quam, what do you got for us?
Thank you, David. And we are in full swing of Black Music Month. And this week's Free This Week will help you celebrate. There are amazing biopics from Lifetime Movie Club, fun new shows from Revolt, and sensational performances from Quest TV. There is something literally for everyone. And this may be a shock to some of y'all, but if y'all really know me, y'all know I love my interviews. I'm really excited to watch Carisha Please. And for those who don't know, Carisha, also known as JT, she is one half of the rap duo City Girls. You know, they have the song like "Act Up," they can act up. Yeah, that's my song. That's my little jam. However, she's been going viral lately for her show, Carisha Please. It's a interview-based show where she brings on talent, rappers, singers, athletes, all the entertainers, and she interviews them in really fun, unique ways. Or maybe they're just really fun because they always give like the most wildest responses to her questions. And she is such a natural interviewer, which is something that I've learned is not an easy skill to pick up. It's so much fun, and I'm excited to really watch her show and really be able to dig into like full episodes. I'm also really excited to watch Robert Glasper's performance special on Quest TV. I've been a huge fan of the jazz / hip hop / neo soul musician for some time now, and I don't go to too many concerts. I don't like a lot of people up in my space. Give me 6 feet. So this may be my only chance to see him perform. But there's so much here for everyone, and just definitely check it out just by saying "Free This Week" into your Xfinity voice remotes.
Perfect. I'm going to check out that Toni Braxton movie. Toni Braxton was like one of the first cassette tapes. I think it was a single. It was the song "Breathe Again" was one of my first singles when I was a kid. It's a good song.
I don't know too many Toni Braxton songs outside of "Break My Heart." That's
breathe again, breathe again. There's a line in there where she goes, "And I can't stop thinking about." And I really thought she was saying, "And I can't stop taking a bath."
Wait, what?
Go listen to it. You won't be able to unhear her saying, "And I can't stop taking a bath," but it's like, "And I can't stop thinking about."
I mean, that's really good advice for people. Just continue to practice cleanliness and good hygiene. Exactly.
Take it from Toni Braxton
Exactly.
in her 1993 hit "Breathe Again."
That's why she can breathe again. She's
stop.
taking a bath. She just smells so fresh. She just like Irish soap continues going in her nose.
She feels like she can breathe again now.
Yeah.
We just totally changed the meaning of that song, and I love it. Sammy, big Toni Braxton fan.
Oh yeah, it's the Weird Al version. Can't stop taking a bath.
Perfect. We should get writing credits on that. All right, as Quam said, say Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program offers a new selection of free content from streaming services and premium networks every week of the year. No strings attached. Just say free or Free This Week into your remote to check it out. Next up, let's get it crunk up on, have fun up in this dancery in the newest episode of Hangouts. On Saturday, June 10th and 17th, Lifetime Network debuts 2 brand new original movies entitled Real Love and Strength of a Woman, which are based on the hit songs of 9-time Grammy Award-winning music legend Mary J. Blige. Blige, who also executive produced the movies, recently sat down with our very own Xfinity music editor, Quam, for a new episode of Xfinity Hangouts. Quam, please tell us more about this one. Was it a dream come true?
It was so amazing being able to sit down with Mary J, Auntie, as we love to call her. Real quick, David, I'm so salty you didn't make a Tony Braxton, Mary J. Blige transition. It would have been chef kiss. It would have been in the moment, but it would have been chef kiss. Anyway,
you know how hard it was for me to not mess up saying dancery. Like I was so sure I was going to mess up that lyric. So
you did a great job, David. You did a great job. But yeah, it was so amazing being able to sit down and talk to her. She's she's one of the people like who you see on screen is who you get. But let's take a look at the trailer for her shows real quick.
Mary J. Blige. I'm so excited to bring you an exclusive event featuring 2 new Lifetime original movies.
42 Apple, take 1.
Inspired by my music. When I wrote Real Love and Strength of a Woman, I was searching for love in people and couldn't find it. I finally found it in myself. I think the song resonates because everyone is searching. As executive producer of these movies, I've been able to develop these songs into love stories with my music as the backdrop. Real Love is about a HBCU freshman, Kendra. I relate to Kendra. She's strong-willed, talented, determined.
Chase after passion, not security.
The follow-up of that is Strength of a Woman.
I really missed you.
Don't say that.
I'm her husband.
I fell in love with storytelling when I was a little girl. A good love story is the journey. That's the core. Everyone has a story, period. It was a dream come true to make my songs into movies. Real Love and Strength of a Woman will premiere this June on Lifetime. I hope you enjoy.
With it being Hip Hop's 50th, I want to get your list, your Mount Rushmore of rappers, your personal list that you would have on your Mount Rushmore.
Man, my Mount Rushmore, that's deep.
Listen, I'll give you mine first. I'll go first.
I can't do that. I can't do that because Mount Rushmore is like. So how many rappers are on? How many people?
So it's four. It's four. I'll give you my 4.
Okay.
And this is no order, kind of. Jay-Z,
Of course.
Lil Wayne,
Of course.
Kendrick Lamar,
Oh, of course.
and now I'm split between Ye and Drake. For my generation, Drake did a lot. You're probably looking at me sideways. You're like, oh,
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Drake is dope, and so is Kanye. So I see why you could be split.
yeah.
So I don't know what you're gonna do with it. You might have to put both their faces on.
That's what I was thinking. Like a Ye side and a Drake side. You know, like they got to co-op that 4th spot. But now I gave you my list.
I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it?
Can't.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because I have two. Listen, did you hear all the people that I just mentioned?
You did. You mentioned a lot of greats, but
And there's more for me, and there's more, and I forgot about. Hold on, and I forgot about Drake and Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne. Man, they belong in there. But I can't do it. It's just too many. Like hip hop is really, it's too many, man. It's too many. It's too many. We can take it back to the 80s. You got Rakim. You know what I'm saying? You got Rakim and KRS-One. And those guys that I just mentioned. Come on, man. I can't do it.
Oh my God. Kwam, I'm absolutely beaming the way you just are sitting there with a legend and you're like, I'm going to give you mine first. Hold on a second, Mary J. Blige. Let me tell you who the 4 greatest rappers are of all time. Now you do it. Like,
like David, I am dripping in objectivity.
You should have told her that.
I mean, it might. I don't know. She's the queen of R&B and hip hop and soul, and so she has a little bit of cachet, I guess. I don't know. Maybe her opinion counts more than mine. But you should have seen before. She just before we start that clip showed. She rattled off maybe 10 names of legendary hip hop artists who are all her contemporaries, which is so interesting to think because usually when I'm having these discussions about who's your favorite, who's your greatest, it's with people who are like me, just fans. And she's really a contemporary with all the artists she named. She grew up with them, quote unquote, within the industry. So I can understand why it would be very difficult for her to give out her favorite 4s because again a lot of those people are her friends, and just with her vast knowledge of hip-hop I could only imagine how difficult of a selection that may be, but y'all saw my 4. Y'all saw who I was rooting for. Show the graphic. This is the true top 4 of hip-hop of all time because Kwam, who is dripping in objectivity. Can't be wrong. And so, like I said, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Kendrick, and we had to choose one. So I had to throw Drake in there because Drake, he's done so much, again, for my generation in regards to shaping the sound of music today. It's impossible not to include him in this list. These are my top 4. Y'all can debate with yourselves if it's right or wrong or not. We all know it's right because, once again, but I do want to hear y'all opinion in my selection.
I mean, it's I couldn't even argue. You know the genre much better than I do. Like, who am I to say? I do have like my own Mount Rushmore of sorts that I put together.
Oh, let's hear
because of
Do
this.
tell.
So, and it's not specifically rap. It's like rap, R&B, hip hop, etc. So, and it's definitely based on the artist I listened to in high school and college. I wouldn't say that they're all quite deserving of having their faces carved into the side of a mountain, but nevertheless, my personal Mount Rushmore would include Michael Jackson, Outkast,
okay,
50 Cent, and TLC.
This is the most random Mount Rushmore ever. I was not expecting any of those names.
I'm telling you, this was just based on. So obviously, MJ is a controversial pick now, but like, who didn't grow up listening to his music? It's just ingrained. Outkast's Stankonia was one of my favorite albums in high school. I had my Discman hooked up to my car stereo with the little cassette tape adapter in my 89 Ford Thunderbird, which sounds really nice, but the thing was just a piece of crap giant boat of a car. I remember like riding through the Lancaster suburbs playing Bombs Over Baghdad like I was some sort of badass, like really embarrassing. I absolutely wore out 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying when I was in college. I have really like visceral reactions to hearing songs from that album. It brings me right back to a very specific place and time, driving places, going to do college things. And I was only 10 when TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool came out, but hell if I didn't play that album on repeat like I understood every single word of it. When Left Eye rapped about tootin' cane into your own vein, I rapped along like it was a shared experience. Totally clueless, but that is my Mount Rushmore of music.
I'm just imagining David driving through like college campuses, bumping Hustler's Ambition as he's about to go to his calculus class. Like that could be amazing.
Oh, I took a drive up to like it was another college in Pennsylvania, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. And I remember I was being a wingman for a friend, and we were going up like it was midnight. I'm driving through the sticks, and
yeah, window shopper playing.
Right, 100%. Yeah, it was a real time. Sammy, do you have a Mount Rushmore?
I do. Although embarrassingly, mine maybe does not fall in the hip hop category, and it's really only 3 members. It's specifically the 3 members of Boy Genius, my favorite group of all time. Leading the charge in the Mount Rushmore would be Phoebe Bridgers, if you all are familiar. Next to her would be Lucy Dacus, and then to the other side would be Julian Baker, the 3 members of Boy Genius, which is my favorite group ever. They just released an album a few months ago called The Record. It's amazing. But then also, like, maybe off to the side, there would be like 3 more little faces for like the members of the Jonas Brothers, perhaps. And then maybe like over here, maybe someone else, I'm not sure. But yes, that's my Mount Rushmore, is Phoebe Bridgers and the Jonas Brothers.
Sammy, I just discovered Boy Genius just randomly, and I've been playing this song Not Strong Enough on repeat for literally the last week, over and over again. I had no idea. Literally
my favorite band person ever. Yeah, anything Phoebe Bridgers does, I will follow.
I didn't even know it was Phoebe Bridgers. I had literally no idea. I heard the song, I think, on Instagram or something, and I was like, what is this song? And then I looked it up, and I've been playing that same song. I haven't even listened to really anything else. It's just that one song over and over again.
I'll make you a
Please send me a list of recommended
Yeah,
songs.
I have a playlist. It's called the Phoebe Bridgers Universe, and it's all the different offshoots because it's a pretty expanding universe as it goes. It now includes Bo Burnham. Fun fact.
Is a multiverse right here.
It's a real multiverse. Multiverse
Amazing.
is my multiverse of madness.
The Sammyverse.
The Sammyverse.
Amazing. Please send that to me. And thanks, Quam, for all of this.
It was amazing.
And you can check out Quam's entire interview with Mary J. Blige and much more by saying Hangouts into your voice remote. And the first of Mary's movies, Real Love, is now available with Lifetime on demand. Go check it out. The second film, Strength of a Woman, premieres this Sunday, June 18th on Lifetime at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now we've got some catching up to do in this week's, or the weekend. It's both. This whole week's edition of Appointment TV. Every week, the Xfinity editors pick the TV show, movie, or special event they are most excited about right now. And since we were off last week, we've doubled the number of shows so you can catch up on everything you missed. And this week, we kick things off with me. So the first show I'm excited about is Cruel Summer, which premiered for a second season exactly 1 week ago and airs every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on Freeform. If you haven't watched season 1 of Cruel Summer, you absolutely should. It was the best, most unexpected TV thriller of 2021, had our entire team absolutely obsessed, and became Freeform's most watched series debut of all time. But you don't have to watch season 1 to jump straight into season 2, because Cruel Summer is an anthology series with an entirely new cast and storyline each season. And this time around, the series focuses on the rise and fall of a teenage friendship over the course of 3 different time periods in 1999 and 2000, when a mysterious death threatens to derail their lives. This season stars mostly unknown actors, including Sadie Stanley, Lexi Underwood, Griffin Gluck, and Katie Strickland, but I have high hopes based on last week's 2-episode premiere that we're in for another wild ride. Before I move on to my second pick, any thoughts on Cruel Summer?
I immediately want to sing the Taylor Swift song. You both did some singing this episode. It's the Cruel Summer.
Yeah,
that one.
Go.
Yeah, it's actually her most streamed song now. Fun fact.
Wow. It's also very telling that is your generation's Cruel Summer and mine is Bananarama, Cruel Summer, leaving me here on my own. Did you watch Cruel Summer though, Sammy?
I didn't, which is really surprising because I love this kind of like teen mystery, murder, intrigue, but it's on Freeform, kind of YA situation. But no, I totally missed the first season, so it's on my list. I still have to watch the first 2 episodes of the second season.
Yeah. One of the great things about it, and something that both seasons share in common, is that it's told over multiple timelines. So the first season also starts in like early 90s, let's say like 91, and then it'll jump to something that's happening in 92 or 93. And so it's got 3 different time periods, and you're getting bits and pieces. You see where they are, you see them in the middle of the conflict, you see them when they're all innocent and like life is carefree. And then you start piecing together the mystery of what happened. And this is very similar, but it's also got a great soundtrack because it's all 90s. And this one, being that it like straddles 1999 and 2000, I'm sure there's lots of Hoobastank in there. No qualm, big Hoobastank fan.
You know
and what else is of that era? I don't know. Like all Fall Out Boy was coming up, but anyway.
Eminem, I think.
A lot of Eminem. Yeah. The tail end of Britney, I guess, or maybe that was peak Britney.
Yeah, it's like peak Britney. She was just getting started.
She was just starting. We hadn't even gotten to Crazy. That's the song I'm thinking about. I was trying to think of the one in the red pleather jumpsuit. That's the one.
we're not gonna figure it out. We're not gonna figure it out here.
Yeah, no, we won't. My mind's going too fast.
Brad, Slave for You.
Slave for You is a good. We had not gotten to Slave for You yet. That was like Brittany and the Snake, peak Brittany, and then everything else.
Everything else.
All right. Second show I'm excited about this week is The Walking Dead: Dead City, which will premiere 3 days early on AMC Plus, Thursday, June 15th, before it premieres on the traditional AMC network on Sunday, June 18th at 10 p.m. Eastern. What can I say about The Walking Dead that hasn't been said over and over and over again for the past 13 years? In this spin-off of the popular post-apocalyptic zombie drama, actors Lauren Cohan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan reprised their roles as fan-favorite characters Maggie and Negan from the original series. The story will follow the two as they explore a crumbling and dangerous New York City in search of Maggie's kidnapped son, Herschel. If you like The Walking Dead, but wish it were a little more like I Am Legend, Dead City is the answer to your prayer. Quam, big Walking Dead fan?
I initially was. I remember when the show came out, and the fact that you said 13 years is like, wow. Yeah, I remember the show first came out. I think I was in high school, and I loved it because I was a huge zombie fan at the time. Yeah, I think COD was doing their own like zombie makeshift. It was zombies were on the rage like in the 2010s. I did fall off on the show, but so remind me. This is a spinoff because that is Negan, right? That's Negan?
It is Negan, the popular character from the original Walking Dead.
So, because the last thing I remember is like Negan did not like Maggie because he just smashed her husband's face in with a bat. I remember it was pretty gruesome. His eyes were like doing this. I was like, man, did not look fun at all. But he clearly still has the bat still intact. So glad to know what was the Lucille? Lucille? Yeah, I'm glad she's still making it. Still smashing heads, I see.
Yeah, he's reformed now.
He's reformed, okay.
Apparently.
He's a new Negan.
Yeah.
Nuo Negan or Neo Negan. But this sounds exciting. I mean, 'cause I really did love I Am Legend. And I think this new premise where it's like a real stripped down cast, is like apparently there's two people, at least for our protagonist, does I think offer a lot of fun opportunities for this series to go in a new direction. So I'm liking the vibe so far.
Yeah, I was also a big zombie fan, but it was the Cranberries song that I was a big fan of.
Wow, David is throwing out all the old
Sammy.
classics. He's trying to age himself. He's good at himself here.
All right, Sammy, since you laughed at my stupid joke, you can go next. What are you excited for?
Lucky me. All right, I am really excited for Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King, only on Netflix, June 16th. So I think this is the first time, that I'm talking about anime on the show.
Is it?
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. What was that face, Quam?
You talk about anime all the time. I just didn't know.
Not on the show, though.
Not on the show.
Okay.
So have either of you heard of Black Clover before?
I've absolutely heard of it, but never watched it.
Never heard of it.
All right. So Black Clover, which is actually my favorite anime of the ones that I've watched, follows the story. Basically, it takes place in a world where everyone has magic. So not only is magic real, but everyone's born with magic, except for our protagonist here in the middle. His name is Asta. He is born without any magic. So he, in true anime fashion, has to develop really strong muscles and kind of leans into just brute strength over like what everyone else has, which is magical abilities. And so he is an orphan. He grows up in an orphanage with kind of this like pseudo brother, who is unbelievably strong, has absolutely insane magical abilities. He has a fairy and he can like harness the power of wind. But anyway, this movie follows, it's actually not canon. So it's not part of the true like series story. So you can actually watch this as like its own isolated movie, not having had to watch maybe like 200 plus episodes of the anime itself beforehand. So it's a little less intimidating to go into. But this one follows Asta. He finds this like extra sword that's from a different wizard king, which is like his ultimate goal is to become the Wizard King. So yeah, that could not be a more condensed version of the plot. But he's a total badass. He has more ambition and strength than like any anime character ever. Maybe that people are going to come for me in that statement. But it's really, really great. And also the music, Kwam, I can't believe that you don't watch anime strictly for the anime intros, because Black Clover, I think, has some of the best / some of my favorite intro songs of all time. There's one called Black Rover that is just like a heavy metal song, and it's amazing.
Sam, you've given me a lot to work off here, because you first took a shot at me. You said that I do not watch anime shows for the music. That is some of the time. Sometimes that's really the reason I tune into these shows. It's just literally for the intro song. And the fact that you would assume that I do not is disrespectful, to say the least. Secondly, to say that our friend, what's his name? Mr. Clover over here.
Asta.
Yes, Asta.
Oh, sorry. Asta, that he is the strongest anime character ever. Have you even seen One Punch Man?
Okay.
He's literally One Punch Man, but not One Punch Man. So I don't know what to say to that. And I can think of a myriad of other anime characters who could allegedly be stronger than him.
We'll need to do a tournament, like a bracket situation.
A bracket situation?
Yeah.
Maybe
Strongest anime characters.
Like we did with Keanu a couple episodes ago. Each bring in our anime champion.
Oh, I like that idea.
Sammy, how do you feel about this not being canon?
I am just more excited that it's even coming out at all versus whether it's canon or not, because this was meant to come out, I think, earlier in 2023. I think it may have already been released in Japan. Like, we should have seen it by now, months ago. And so I'm just excited that it's coming out at all. Black Clover was one of the shows that I binged the whole thing, so I haven't actually been able to watch it while it's airing on. So I'm really excited to watch something that the world is watching at the same time and kind of be part of that like discussion online, or kind of follow along with it versus catching up and kind of being a little delayed in the fandom. So
I love that. Totally get it. Tell us about your second pick here.
Okay. In completely stark contrast, my second pick is the FX comedy It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is currently in its 16th season, 16th season, airing on FX and next day on Hulu. When I say that Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of my favorite shows of all time, I could not mean that more wholeheartedly. Did either of you watch the show? Do I have fans in my co-hosts today?
You are Miss Fans.
I do watch it. I've not so like loyally watched it as you have, but I do watch it. Yeah.
So when you say a show's in the 16th season, I feel like people say like, you're still watching that, or they're still making new episodes. But what I say to that is, why would you ever want your favorite show to end? You know, they're still continually pumping out new episodes that are hilarious, just as funny as they always were, if like not funnier, because now you just have the world to deal with versus when they started over 20 years ago. And also, I am maybe the biggest Danny DeVito fan you have ever met. And so I love just seeing new Danny DeVito / Frank Reynolds on my screen every week. It's just a really nice comfort. I actually had a friend who worked on this season, and as far as the production goes, when they were filming, and she would just text me and say like, I played skee ball with Danny DeVito today. And I would just have to sit with that information, knowing that that wasn't me playing skee ball with Danny DeVito. And it was really upsetting.
I bet Danny DeVito's really good at skee ball.
Because I feel like he's like kind of short, he's like low to the ground. He's got like a different kind of leverage situation.
Right, it's just straightforward, not like down and forward, because he's already
Right.
right there.
Y'all just ripping on Danny DeVito
No,
right now.
it's nothing but love
This
for
is
Danny
with
DeVito.
love.
It's like backhanded love. It's like, yeah, you're like already there. You can just push it up, you know. You don't got like us taller folks, you know. You don't have to.
I even love Danny DeVito's the sub commercials that he does,
Yes.
where he's listening to the sizzling sub. I don't know. It's
He's
just
like,
everything he
you
does.
layer the meats. I think it's for like Jersey Mike's or
Jersey
Jimmy
Mike's.
John's.
A sub above. Like, how do I even know? It is Jersey Mike's. I don't even know how I know the like catchphrase, a sub above. Jersey Mike's, send us money for this.
If Danny DeVito says it, I will remember it.
Right, exactly. It's the way he says it, a sub above. And he's just so like listening to the sub sizzle. Anyway.
He does that little like.
Yes. No more talking about Jersey Mike's until they send us free subs. I love this though, Sam. I can't believe it's been 16 years. It's going to be one of those shows that keeps going, and we look back at the first episodes and we're like, look at the cell phones that they're using in those first episodes.
You don't do
It's
that already?
so grainy. Like,
yes.
It's so grainy. It's in like weird formatting, and oh my god, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting to anyone out there who doesn't know that we're all based in the Philadelphia area, so it's specifically resonant to all of us, especially those of us who are Eagles fans and Philly fans and Sixers fans. Yeah, but anyway, awesome. Thank you, Sammy. All good stuff. Quam, bring us home with the two pieces of entertainment you're excited about.
Well, thank you, David. And first, we have The Idol. For those who know me, I am a huge Weeknd fan. I guess I should call him Abel now, but he will forever in my heart be The Weeknd. Regardless, I've been infatuated with his music forever, you know, since high school, since the House of Balloon days, and it's really amazing to watch his maturation as an artist and as a star now, because there's a period of time where he did not want to be a star. And so this show, The Idol, feels like just like a perfect segue into stardom for him, because the show's premise really feels like a old Weeknd song, if we're being honest. If you don't know a Weeknd song or the premise of the show, it's about a dwindling pop star played by Lily Rose Depp. She's attempting to make a comeback as her career hasn't really panned out, and this sets her down a path towards the dark side of entertainment. Again, it really feels like a Weeknd song, and so it's only fitting that he, you know, really created the show and is starring in it as pretty much himself in like a lot of his songs. So it's really fitting, and again, a nice segue from his music career to now him acting. And yeah, I haven't seen the first episode yet. I'm a person who likes to wait until the show is fully out to like start really just binging. But I've only heard good things about the show so far, and so I'm really excited. David, Sammy, you have any thoughts about The Idol? I know it's been like production hell for forever.
It is, and I think one of the leads that got buried here is the fact that it's co-created or run or written by the same person who's behind Euphoria. So now his name is, of course, escaping me. But yes, it's got like the Euphoria pedigree, kind of also like very stylistically glossy, like has that stylized lighting effect that they use a lot. And as you said, production hell. There was a Rolling Stone article that talked about like poor conditions on the set and how they had to reshoot almost like the whole thing, and they rewrote it, and The Weeknd came out and said that was a bunch of nonsense. It didn't happen. And also like full disclosure, they're doing like press for this show. And of course, you know, we like to get our hands on some of these interviews for Xfinity Hangouts. They were like, Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp aren't doing any interviews, which only adds to the mystery of it. It's like, what's going on with this show? But you know, they say all press is good press, and I think this is one of the ones that everyone's buzzing about because it's been bumped back so many times. And I don't know, watch it and see for yourself. But it definitely has those Euphoria vibes if you're into that.
I mean, the fact that it's been pushed back so many times can be one of two things: that it's really great, or they're on to the next one.
Yeah.
And speaking of on to the next one, Sammy mentioned that sequels we do not need, and she mentioned Extraction 2, and I felt deeply offended because I am a huge lover of action movies. I'm a simple man. I see baddies getting taken out, I clap and I cheer. What more could you want? And so Extraction 1 was Chris Hemsworth, fighting baddies to rescue a kid. And this sequel sees Chris Hemsworth reprise his role, and he's presumed to be dead when he is brought back into the fold to rescue a gangster's family from prison. But if we're being honest, the premise doesn't really matter. We all know why we're here. We're here for the baddies getting taken down, the beatdowns, the gunfights, the unbelievable stunts, the stormtrooper-esque henchmen just who are unable to hit a target like 5 feet away from them. We're here for the action, and that's really why I'm so excited for this movie that's coming out later this week. I just love action movies. It gives me what's that movie called? The Raid. Have y'all ever seen The Raid?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best.
Is fantastic. And Extraction, while not of the same tier of Raid, it definitely is in that ballpark where it feels like, okay, we're just foregoing any kind of plot and we're just getting right to it. We're getting right to it. We all know why we're here. And I couldn't really appreciate an action movie that gets straight to the point. And yeah, that's really it. I love action movies. I love seeing baddies getting beat. And who doesn't love Chris? I mean, look at that face. He's gorgeous. Just
True.
Eye candy on screen.
Thor.
He is Thor. Okay, and so I have everything I need. I have eye candy. I have baddies getting beat. I'm in hog's heaven.
Yeah, Netflix has really cornered the market on these like straight to streaming action blockbusters between this and The Old Guard with Charlize Theron and Red Notice with The Rock and Gal Gadot.
The zombie one.
Something of the Dead. It was one of the Dead movies, but it was like a
zombie one.
Zombie heist movie. Yeah.
Zombie of the Dead.
Yeah. So, and they're very popular. And, like you said, like who cares? They're not going to win an Oscar, but they're good entertainment, especially for the summer, chilling at home, good Friday night. Remember when we used to, you guys don't remember. I remember when I used to rent movies on a Friday night from Blockbuster.
I can't speak for Sammy, but I definitely remember renting movies. I remember first Blockbuster and then Redbox. Ooh, don't get me started on Redbox. Redbox was lit. Redbox was lit. Me and my sister used to beg our mom every time we were leaving like Giant, like, can we get a movie from the Redbox? And she's like, okay, one each. And David, you're trying to make me feel young. And I appreciate
I do my best.
Yeah, I grew up with Blockbuster and Video Barn. That was our local town's. It's called Video Barn. We would rent Mary-Kate and Ashley movies.
Of course. Well, Netflix is kind of like that Friday night. Instead of renting, you get your like big action movie for a Friday night when you've got pizza and you're just hanging out at home. It's perfect. Also, Euphoria was created by Sam Levinson. That was the name and he did this Idol too. So anyway, continue. Anything else for Extraction?
Full circle moment there. No, I mean, what more can I say? Baddies getting beat, Chris Hemsworth, action, explosions, kicks and punches, pow, kablow, all the good stuff.
Sammy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I heard that there's a 21-minute action one-shot scene in the movie.
In Extraction 2, that's impressive.
In Extraction 2, yeah, it's one shot, 21 minutes. I
am a sucker for a long take. Like I often, mention the Goodfellas being my favorite movie, and it has such a great long take. And that's like ever since that movie, I really just love long shots and unbroken shots, or made to look unbroken. And the fact that they pulled off a 21 minutes long shot is incredible. I will be thoroughly pleased when I watch that moment.
Are you talking about the walking through the kitchen scene, Quam?
I am talking about the walking through the kitchen scene.
Yeah. It's Tommy 2 times. How you doing? How you doing?
No, not that one. No, not that one. The one where I do like that one too. It's like, I'm gonna get the papers. Get the papers.
Yes, that's it.
No, not that scene. But where he's taking Karen through the diner for the first time.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then he has the awesome joke, the great punchline where he's like, "What do you do?" He's like, I work in construction." And she's like, "I don't think you work in construction." He's like, "I'm a union delegate." And it even has like the drum sound effect. Oh my god, you're gonna get me off on a tangent on Goodfellas and how good of a movie that is. But that's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites too. They also, in that scene, I'm always amazed that they bring in a table from the side for him and plop it down right in front. Like the table was just over there. Was it just waiting for Henry?
Just waiting. That's how big he was. You don't know. Henry was that guy. When someone says they're him, they're not Henry him. Henry was really him. Like, bruh, he pulls up after his girl got pushed out of a car, walks across the street, and then roughs the guy up, and then takes the gun and gives it to his girlfriend, and then gets married the next scene. Bro, he is him. He is him. It's like, he is him.
Smacks him in his own front yard. He's just chilling over there.
You got a problem, pal? Yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, you don't know I'm him.
I asked him to stop. He didn't stop. Oh my god! Now we're just
the car.
now we're just gonna start doing Goodfellas quotes. Oh my god! All right, before we wrap this up for the week, it's worth mentioning for all of our sports fans out there that the U.S. Open golf tournament tees off this Thursday, June 15th, and runs through June 18th. You can catch all the action on NBC Peacock, the USA Network, and Golf Channel. Just say golf into your voice remote for more. And this is going to be the bane of my existence is saying the name of this. The CONCACAF Gold Cup Soccer Tournament kicks off. I'm going to say it like every episode for the next few episodes, too. I'm going to butcher it every single time. CONCACAF Gold Cup Soccer Tournament kicks off preliminary matches this Friday, June 16th through June 20th. You can check out these matches on Fox Networks and Univision. Just say soccer into your voice remote for match times and more details. Check out everything that we just talked about, all the entertainment, the movies. We're going to even put Goodfellas in there. Just check it all out just by saying what to watch into your voice remote. That was fun. That's it. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you to my fellow Xfinity editors, Kwame and Sammy, for joining me this week. Thanks to the one and only Mary J. Blige for hanging out with us. Shout out to our producers, Brad, Josh, and everyone else behind the scenes for making the show run smoothly. If you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or of course, watch us interview big celebrities, but not The Weeknd or Lily Rose Depp. Just say what to watch into your voice remote or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. You can also watch us 24/7 on the Xfinity What to Watch channel on Zumo. My name is David. Thanks for joining us on What to Watch Live.